And, when were either of you planning on telling me this?
I don't see how it's up to us to let you know when he's dropping in, Junior. If he's in town, it's your job to let us know. For just the muscle.
I need a pen.
This is a big day for him, Junior, and I wouldn't want to see you mess this up. This whole thing's got to go exactly as planned. It's a big day after all.
And speaking of big days, this your first time meeting with the boss? Well then, strap in. Because I think it's time I gave you a little refresher on the Thylacine. Born February 11th, 1961 on a rural farm in northwestern Tasmania, the Thylacine grew up isolated from society, his only friends being cows, chickens, and his grandmother Connie. She died. By the time he turned 21, the Thylacine had become an elite enforcer of Dingo Dan, Launceston's most fearsome crime lord. Dan was getting old, however, and when he thought the occasion was right, the Thylacine decided it was about time for him to retire on a nice trip to Cuba. Cut to present day, old Thylacine is the king of Sydney's underbelly. He's richer than Packer, he's bigger than Ledger, and he's a hell of a lot scarier than Chopper.
But he didn't get to where he was without cracking a few bad eggs. Back in the 80s, he was the mastermind behind what they call the Bankstown bloodbath.
It was an all-out war between him, Casey Wary, and the Cayman. The Cayman basically ran the entertainment industry back in the day, and Casey had almost every lady of the night in his pocket.
Rumour has it, though, that nowadays the children of his rivals aren't too happy about old Thylacine's rule and are planning a coup d'etat led by Dingo Dan's old blood, Dingo Dick.
I'll get it done.
He still wears the shirt his father wore the night he died. But I'm getting carried away. What we should really talk about is that Bankstown bloodbath. That night on December 20, the Thylacine took on at least 30 men by himself. None of them stood a chance. But there was this one young guy. No one even knows what he did. He pummeled on him for a straight 4 hours before finally dumping him some ditch far from civilization. He's probably still there now. And that's that. The life and times of the Thylacine, who should be arriving in 10 minutes.
Tried your best, Junior. Maybe one person could have done all this in the time you had.
If you two don't get off this couch and help me, I'm gonna use your brains to repaint this ceiling.
Jeez, no need to threaten us. We'll get right to it, Batista.
You know, not to discredit you or anything, but I've heard vastly different stories when it comes to our boss. I've heard that the Dingo Dan retired on his own accord, willingly leaving his empire to the Thylacine. Try his hands at a new life in Yemen as a salmon fisher. I heard there wasn't so much as a war, but a civil discourse between the three, which swiftly dealt with. They even ended up celebrating after at a karaoke bar. And the Bankstown bloodbath, just a joke the three had together. And the Thylacine cut his hand open on the laminated song list. The only blood spilled that night was on Cat Stevens' father and son. You know, really, he's not such a bad...
Happy birthday, Dad.
Oh, thanks, Junior.